Picture it, months of brilliant forensic work. You recovered the deleted files, you traced the attacker, you built an airtight case. Then in court, the defense attorney asks one question: who handled this drive between Tuesday and Thursday? And nobody can answer. The evidence is thrown out, case over. Technically perfect analysis, worthless, because the documentation had a single gap. This is Objective 3.2, Evidence Preservation and Documentation. The exam tests chain of custody, cryptographic hashing for integrity, packaging and storage standards, and the legal rules around forensic copies and legal holds. And it does not just want what you do, it wants why. Because in this domain, the paperwork is the evidence. Let's make it bulletproof. Chain of custody is the chronological record of the seizure, control, transfer, analysis, and disposition of evidence, an unbroken record proving it was never altered from collection to courtroom. Why does it matter? A compromised chain equals evidence inadmissible. Defense attorneys attack any gap or inconsistency, and even flawless analysis is worthless without it. What gets documented? Collection. Who, when to the exact time, where, from what system. Description, type, size, hash, a unique identifier or exhibit number. Packaging, the bag, and the tamper. Evidence seal number, every transfer with name, date, time, signature, and purpose. Storage location with access controls, every access event. And final disposition, returned, destroyed, archived, or submitted to court. Every handoff is a row in the log, and every row is a UTC timestamp. Integrity comes from cryptographic hashing. A hash function generates a fixed-length fingerprint and change even a single bit. And the hash is completely different. That is what proves nothing was altered. Know the algorithms. MD5 is 128-bit, 32 hex characters, cryptographically broken and collision vulnerable, but still used in forensics for verification, not security, because it is fast and has court precedent. SHA-1 is deprecated, legacy only. SHA-256 is the current standard. 256 bits, 64 hex characters. Preferred for all new work. SHA-512 is higher security, slower. Best practice is to generate both MD5 and SHA-256. Backward compatibility plus collision resistance. Most tools do both at once. Hashing only works if you do it at the right moments. At collection, acquire the evidence, calculate the hash immediately, record it on the chain of custody form and the evidence label, and store the hash separately. At examination, recalculate the hash of the copy before you touch it compared to the collection hash. Match means integrity confirmed. Mismatch means investigate and document. In court, recalculate again, compare to the original from the form, and the match proves nothing changed since day one. On Linux, DD images the drive and MD5 sum hashes it. FTK Imager auto-generates the hash inside an E01, and DC3DD does it in line. Hash equals SHA-256 with a log file. Delayed hashing cannot prove integrity from the moment of collection. That is the exam trap. Packaging is exam gold because it is so specific. Hard drives and SSDs go in anti-static bags. USB drives, anti-static plus a rigid case, never stacked. Mobile phones and tablets, anti-static and a Faraday bag. Laptops, anti-static wrap and a padded case. Optical media, paper sleeves, never plastic because plastic scratches the surface and handle by the edges. Why anti-static? Electrostatic discharge can destroy data. It is the minimum for any electronic evidence. Why Faraday for phones? Because a phone can receive a remote wipe over cellular and destroy evidence before you analyze it. A Faraday bag blocks every RF signal, cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, belt and suspenders, airplane mode, and a Faraday bag. And every container gets a tamper evidence seal with a serial number logged in the chain of custody. Storage and transport keep the chain alive after collection. Store evidence in a locked room or cabinet with access control and a log for every entry. Keep it cool, 60 to 70 degrees, low humidity, away from strong magnets. Separate the master from the working copy, run regular inventory audits, and back up digital evidence. Best practice is two-person integrity. 2 people present for any access. For transport, padded cases against shock, anti-static packaging that never comes off, insulated containers against heat, never a car trunk in summer. Faraday bags stay on mobile devices the entire way. Ship tracked, insured, signature required with chain of custody docs inside and outside the package, and obtain delivery confirmation. Never leave evidence unattended, secure courier or law enforcement escort for sensitive cases. Now the legal layer. A legal hold, also called a litigation hold or preservation order, is a directive to preserve all information potentially relevant to anticipated or active litigation. The process. Legal counsel identifies the trigger, determines scope by custodians and date ranges, issues a written hold notice, then technical preservation kicks in, suspend auto-deletion, email purge, and log retention policies immediately, document who received the notice and acknowledged it, monitor ongoing and release only when counsel authorizes. The critical word is spoliation, destruction of evidence under legal hold, which brings sanctions, adverse inference instructions, or even criminal charges. The exam rule: when in doubt about scope, over-preserve, never under-preserve. And the whole must come from legal counsel, with auto-deletion suspension built in. Forensic copies. And the golden rule: a forensic image is a bit-for-bit, sector-by-sector copy including empty space, deleted files, and slack space. That is your primary working copy. A logical copy grabs files and directories only. A sparse image skips truly empty sectors. A live memory dump captures RAM. Formats matter. E01, the expert witness format from Encase and FTK Imager, is compressed with metadata and an embedded hash, self-authenticating for chain of custody, and the exam loves that fact. AFF is the open source format. RAW or DD is uncompressed with no metadata. And the golden rule, the foundation of this entire domain: always work on the forensic copy, never the original. The original stays sealed in storage. If the copy corrupts, make a fresh one from the original. 2 more areas. File system forensics. On NTFS, the master file table holds every file's metadata and persists even after deletion. The $log file and $USNJRNL reconstruct file operations and changes. Slack space and unallocated space hold remnants of deleted files. And alternate data streams, ADS, hide data, even malware, inside a legitimate file. List them with dr/r. A deleted file is recoverable until its clusters are overwritten. Then cloud evidence. No physical access means you collect logically. API exports, disk snapshots, and log exports. Watch retention limits. CloudTrail defaults to 90 days, so archive from day 1. Cloud resources are ephemeral and can be terminated remotely. Snapshot immediately and pull logs before cleanup. In one breath, chain of custody must be unbroken. One gap in evidence dies. Every handoff logged in UTC. Hash immediately with MD5 and SHA-256. MD5 is broken, but fine for verification. SHA-256 is the standard. Anti-static bags for electronics, Faraday bags for phones to block remote wipe, paper sleeves for optical media. Legal holds come from counsel, suspend auto-deletion, and destroying held evidence is spoliation. E01 embeds its own hash. And the golden rule above all: always work the copy, never the original. That closes domain 3. Next up, Objective 3.3, where we move from preserving evidence to analyzing it. Data acquisition and forensic analysis.